I've been noticing for years that the Trump cult is absolutely obsessed with Barack Obama. So I decided to do some research to try and find out why the Maga cult is so obsessed with Obama. Barack Obama has not been president for 10 years, and Maga can't stop talking about him. They're literally obsessed with the man. They try and blame him for things that are happening today. That's not random. There's a psychological reason for that, although it seems a little creepy. Here are the 4 reasons the Trump cult is obsessed with President Obama. 1. The psychological wage of whiteness. In 1935, sociologist W.E.B. Du Bois at Atlanta University studied poor white Americans. White Americans, even the poor ones, with no money and no power, felt superior to black Americans. Not because they earned it, but because for 250 years the entire system told them they were superior to black people. The law said it, the church said it, the culture said it. Du Bois called it the psychological wage of whiteness. This is a status payment people collect just for being white, a floor that white people couldn't fall beneath. Then Barack Obama became president. He occupied the highest status role in the country. That destroyed the floor. And when a status floor breaks, people don't quietly adjust. They backlash. Obama didn't just win an election. He took something they didn't even know they were depending on. They didn't earn this special status, but they thought it was stolen when Barack Obama got elected. And they've been trying to take it back ever since. 2. Social identity threat. Psychologist Henry Teifel at the University of Bristol spent decades studying in-group conflict. What he found was when a member of an out-group outperforms the in-group, the psychological response is not one of admiration, but hostility. Teifel called this social identity threat. A failed black president would have confirmed the Trump cult's worldview, but Obama being polished, competent, scandal-free, and widely respected by world leaders made it impossible to call him incompetent. The better Obama performed, the more threatening he became to the cult. Not because of his policies, but because his success directly contradicted everything they believe about the natural order of things. He wasn't supposed to be better. He wasn't supposed to be a gentleman and a scholar, and yet he was. That doesn't just go away. When weak, mediocre people see someone they believe was inferior reach the highest office in the country, they don't get inspired. They become filled with rage. They feel lied to, and they need someone to blame for the hate and rage. That target is Obama. Everything they could never be. 3. Scapegoating. Obama left office in 2017, but his name never left the conversation, because Trump spent more than a decade smearing his name. It all started before Trump was even president. Trump spent years pushing the birther conspiracy, claiming Obama wasn't American, wasn't legitimate, wasn't one of us. That wasn't politics. That was a deliberate effort to strip Obama of his humanity and plant him in the minds of millions as the source of everything wrong. Then when Trump took office, the playbook continued. Every problem needed an explanation. Economy struggling? Obama's fault. Crime rate rising? Obama's fault. Anything going wrong in the country? Obama's fault. Psychologists call this scapegoating. Assign one figure as the source of all your problems and anxiety, which then collapses onto that single target. It feels like clarity to his followers. It feels like understanding. It isn't. Trump didn't just keep Obama's name alive. He spent over a decade turning him into the villain of the story. And to the Trump cult members, this story still is true. 4. Cognitive dissonance. Here's what made the obsession permanent. The Maga cult couldn't call Obama corrupt. There were no scandals. They couldn't call him incompetent. The record didn't support it. They couldn't even call him unpresidential. He was polished, disciplined, and respected around the world. Psychologist Leon Festinger at Stanford University studied what happens when people are confronted with evidence that contradicts their deeply held beliefs. Weak people don't update their beliefs when confronted with contradicting evidence. They double down on their original beliefs. Festinger called this cognitive dissonance. Maga was left holding a belief system that Obama's entire existence disproved. And instead of resolving that contradiction by updating their worldview, they resolved it by hating him harder. The obsession isn't just political, it's psychological. And it has nowhere left to go. So it goes out onto everyone else in rage and obsession. Obama is living proof that the psychological wage of whiteness doesn't exist anymore. And to weak people who never earned that status in the first place, it feels like an identity crisis. So they obsess more, say his name more, talk about him obsessively all the time. They even have a name for this now, Obama derangement syndrome. Because Obama didn't just win the presidency. He broke a hierarchy millions of people thought was permanent. And they've been trying to undo that moment ever since.
What's really tickling my fucking ick pickle today, I don't think enough people are enraged and vocal about this, okay? So recently, The entire world participated in a vote hosted by the United Nations. And all but 3 countries unanimously agreed that the transatlantic slave trade was the worst crime committed against humanity in the history of humanity. And I need you to register the magnitude of that, because they looked at the entire world and all of documented human history and said that was the most fucked up thing ever to happen. And then they ordered the countries responsible for the transatlantic slave trade to pay reparations to the countries affected by it and the descendants of the victims of it. And the only 3 countries that voted against it, shockingly, were the United States, Israel, and Argentina. But Argentina votes in favor of whatever the Epstein Coalition tells them to, because we bailed out their soybean farmers while ours collapsed. Yeah, I know. We're fucked up. We know that shit, right? But that's not even the worst part of it. Because what's most insulting about this is that the United States of America has been paying reparations to Jews. We created the country that is Israel as reparations for the Holocaust that not only did we not commit, we quite literally ended and liberated the Jews from. So after we end the Holocaust and liberate the Jews from the Holocaust, the Rothschilds are like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give you guys land in Palestine to call Israel. And then I'm going to have American taxpayers pay you guys billions of dollars in reparations every single year, dating back to 1948. And when I tell you that their welfare state is sweet, baby, they got it good. You have a baby over there, you get thousands of dollars dropped into your account every month until that child is 18. They have free education up to university. They have free healthcare and one of the best medical systems in the fucking world. Every social safety net that Republicans vote against in the United States, your tax dollars fund in fucking Israel. So you mean to tell me that the United States of America is paying reparations to Jews in the country of Israel for a crime they didn't commit against them, all while the descendants of the worst crime ever committed against humanity still exist in a country getting fuck all. Oh, no, wait, pause. They get systematic oppression, police brutality, and a bunch of inbred, slack-jawed, child-raping, baby-eating, Satan-worshipping pedophiles on national television telling you that DEI is bad. I fucking hate it here.